Coming up on this month's edition of The Now, the NPAC is putting on a magical story, a new club just flew into North, a student received a perfect score on an AP exam, and your monthly sports update. Stay tuned for these stories.
Good morning, Huskies, and from the Advanced Media Lab, I'm Julia Shanahan.
And I'm Alex Gray.
In the next few weeks, the NPAC will be hosting the next children's play, Peter and the Starcatcher.
The theater department will be putting on a play best known for its Tony Award-winning performance. We go to Morgan Gerhardt and Nick Batuzzi with the story.
Thanks, guys. The theater department is always hectic, and this time of year is no exception.
That's right. Seniors Nathan Biggs and Nora Snyder have the cast of the children's show, Peter and the Starcatchers, in full swing.
We caught up with some of the cast and crew to talk about the process of bringing the show to life, and we also got to hear about what the show is about.
Because the show is so imaginative and uses so many more props than the actual set and walking around the set, there's a lot more blocking and there's a lot more telling the cast what to do instead of kind of being oh, just come up with it yourself. So rehearsal has been a lot of trying to figure out certain things and what works and what doesn't.
Usually children's plays are, 45 minutes, just something silly and fun to make kids laugh. But this year is really special. It is a Tony Award-winning Broadway play, and it covers themes about coming of age and the importance of imagination. But it's also a show that not only kids would enjoy, but also people of all ages, kids of all ages, would enjoy. So I would highly recommend. It's this whimsical, fun show, and it follows how Peter Pan became Peter Pan.
I'm playing Molly Astor, who kind of accompanies Peter on this journey to save the star stuff. And when I say accompanies, I mean more of leads, because Molly's more of a strong female figure, and she likes to lead and just be in charge of all the boys and let all the girls in the audience know that women can do everything that a man can.
I am playing Peter, and since Peter and the Starcatcher is essentially the prequel to the show/movie Peter Pan, it's still Peter, although he doesn't really know that his name is Peter until halfway through the movie. He discovers himself throughout the show.
You can see Peter and the Starcatchers December 2nd through 4th in the NPAC.
The cast and crew hope to see you there.
This has been Morgan Gerhardt
and Nick Batuzzi. Back to you guys.
Thanks, guys. If aviation is something that interests you, try out North's new club, the Flying Huskies.
That's right. Students are getting together to make and fly their own remote control airplanes. Chris Coley dropped in to see what the Flying Huskies are all about.
Kitty-cornered under a stairway is room 149, where a new club is taking flight. They're the Flying Huskies, a club that allows students to build their own remote control airplanes and fly them. The club was established this year by learning behavior specialist Mitchell Nugent, after a chance run-in with a student over the summer.
I've been flying for about 5 years now. So over the summertime, I was out in a field flying an airplane, and one of the students saw me and came up and asked kind of what I was doing, how fast does it go, and I told him I was a teacher here at North and said, if you're interested in it, start a club and I'll sponsor it. And he started it up at the beginning of the year.
What was once a group of 2 sophomores grew quickly into a group of about 11 students in only half a semester. First, the planes start as foam boards that are penciled into templates from a website called flighttest.com. Then comes the assembly process.
A lot of it's done just through tracing, putting the designs on the foam boards, putting the designs on paper so that we can reuse them, and then just cutting them out with the knives, and then building them from there with hot glue.
Being able to slowly fold it together and start to see an actual plane being built. Then we started putting electronics in, and then once we did that, it was that was really becoming a machine and not just foam board that we got at the Dollar Tree. So being able to actually fly it and control it, it's nothing like getting an Air Hogs at Target. It's being able to see your own creation flying.
After electronics are affixed, propellers attached, and batteries installed, it's finally time to fly.
Thanks, Chris. For anyone interested, the Flying Huskies meet every Tuesday and Thursday after school in room 149. Naperville North students are always working hard to stand out and be recognized.
One of our very own juniors, Jason Shaw, was the only person in the world to receive a perfect score on their AP Physics 1 exam that was taken last May. We go to Marina Silva with the story.
Thanks, ladies. Here at Naperville North, students are always working hard to achieve success. Recently, Naperville North's very own junior, Jason Shaw, was the only person in the world to get a perfect score on the AP Physics 1 exam that was taken last May. I caught up with Jason to talk about his recent accomplishment.
I saw online that only one person had gotten a perfect score in July, but I didn't know it was me until last week. So I was obviously really surprised by that. It is a big accomplishment, and I did have the ability to score a perfect, but obviously probably other people in the world also had the ability to score a perfect, and they might have just made a few mistakes on the test day. I think that the AP Physics class prepared me pretty well for the exam, but right before the exam, I also looked at some past tests by myself and also came in to take a practice test that Mr. Razi offered, so that helped a lot. My advice to other students who are currently in the class is that if you have even a small misunderstanding, you should get it figured out immediately, because small misunderstandings kind of snowball in physics, and then by May you might be like in a big hole if you had a small misconception about Newton's third law in September or something.
Thanks, Jason, and congratulations on your success. From Naperville North, I'm Marina Silva.
Thanks, Marina, and an outstanding job to Jason.
Naperville North has had an accomplished last several months, not only in the classroom, but in athletics as well. We go to Maddie Krebs with our sports update.
Thanks, guys. What's up, Naperville North? Welcome back to your monthly sports update. Last Friday, Naperville North sent 3 sports programs to compete for state championships. Out of those 3, we brought home not 1, but 2 state titles. Girls cross country brought home their 5th state championship win since 2004, and boys soccer won their first state title since 1998. For cross country, junior Sarah Schmidt placed 6th out of over 200 runners with a time of 16:51. Helping solidify North's win were senior Hannah Ritchie and sophomore Alex Morris, placing in 18th and 19th. Boys soccer punched their ticket to the state championship after taking down number 1 ranked Morton 2-0. In their championship game against Barrington, juniors Will Ritzman, Jack Berry, and Ian Guppy scored all 3 of North's goals as they took down Barrington 3-1. Congratulations to both teams on their wins, and we look forward to seeing what our winter and spring sports seasons have to offer. That's all for sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Maddie, and a great job to all Husky athletics.
And that's all for this month's edition of The Now. Be sure to follow the North Star on Twitter and Instagram, and pick up our newsletter, The Little Dipper. From the North Star, this has been Julia Shanahan.
And Alex Gray.
Have a great day, Huskies, and we'll see you next month.